This is Linda, this is Booby, and that's Jamie. Welcome to the jungle. I have some leaf earrings and a blouse that I really am feeling. It's kind of abstract, or it might not be, but it looks abstract. I will link the look and the details down in the description box, and also like the lip color, because I know a lot of people asked me on Instagram what I was wearing on my lips. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my first round of IVF. I haven't done the complete first cycle because I still haven't done the embryo transfer just yet, but I did a full round of medications, and also we did the egg retrieval a few days ago, 3 days ago actually. So I want to talk about that experience, and then once I do the embryo transfer, I'll talk about that. But we are going to be waiting till July to get pregnant. That's what we decided, and in the meantime, I'm just so happy that like this first section is completely done. Instead of, trying to do everything at once, which of course is an option, but for us, we just wanted to just get this part over with so we can move forward. I guess the first thing that I want to start off with is the medication. The first round of shots that I started doing, the first night, I was super scared because I didn't know what to expect. And I think that's what a lot of women feel. You feel the fear of something that hasn't happened yet. So that's something that I have been learning to deal with a lot, to change my mentality around fear, because I was so afraid of these tiny little needles going inside my stomach. And in reality, guys, the needles do not hurt at all. There's only one medication that hurts, and it only burns a little bit while it's being administered, but it's a really quick little burn sensation, and that it's not even huge, but you feel a little bit of discomfort. I was doing up to 3 shots a night for about 10 days, and the first few days I felt normal. I felt like my normal self. I was working out. I didn't have any side effects yet from the hormones. But then as the days started to progress, I started to feel my boobs become really tender. Any step that I would take, or just going down the stairs, I would have to almost hold my stomach, because I just felt like everything in there was just so I don't know. I don't even know what the right word to describe it, but I just felt like, oh, I can't really step. It almost felt a little bit sore. And I also started to experience emotional changes within myself towards the end, maybe the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th day. I was completely off, and I stopped working out. So I just decided to take this first part of the cycle as some time to just recover and listen to my body and not work out, and, do things that make me feel good, and just I don't know, just relax a little bit more and not have the pressure of working or, being creative, or any of those pressures that I put on myself on a daily basis. I completely took that off the table, and it felt incredible. I was also really well taken care of by my husband and Isaac, and it felt so good just to have their undivided attention for that amount of days. Towards the end, I was more emotional. I would cry more easily, and I would even question myself if these feelings that I was feeling were valid, or was it just the hormones? But if it's just the hormones, does that make them invalid? And I came to the awareness that the emotions that you're experiencing are completely valid. And while they might be heightened because of the hormones, they're still valid. And it's not something that you can just brush off or be like, it's just the hormones. No, you're feeling things, and those feelings are okay for you to feel them. I was taking care of myself also with my mind and my thoughts. I was very cautious about the things that I was saying to myself, because there's so many changes going on inside your body that you want to make sure that you yourself are really great to yourself with the things that you say, with how you take care of yourself, and really give yourself that time to just listen to your body and do what your body is asking. My initial plan was to work out, like I told you guys, throughout the whole thing, but I didn't know how my body was going to change. And then I also had the pressure of you're not working out today, you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So Take any of those things if you can let go of them. It's okay if you stop working out for a few days, for a week or two. It's okay. It's okay if maybe you want to indulge in something that makes you feel good, or maybe you want to get a little massage. Or for me, I stayed in the house. I did not want to be around anybody. I just didn't feel comfortable being in public. I wanted to just stick to just be with myself and the things that comforted me, and just, I don't know. That's just how I personally reacted to the emotional changes that were going inside my body. It's just by going back and retrieving and going back into the lion's den. So I am a Leo, so I have to have some time within myself, and I definitely enjoyed this whole experience because it was me time. During this time, if you're about to start, it's so important for you to have the people that are the closest to you around you, because you really do need the support throughout this entire journey. You know, it's going to get a little taxing just from my own experience with all the medications and the hormones and everything, that you really need people that are going to cater to you, who are going to love you, who are going to support you, who are going to tell you that it's okay if you just start crying or if you just don't feel like yourself. People that really love you, it's so important to have them around you. So I had my mom and my sisters and my dad, but I mostly had my husband and my son Isaac with me because we live together. They're here with me all day, every day, and they treated me like a queen. Isaac even wrote me this beautiful message that I have next to my bed. It says, "You are tough and brave. You are not scared. You are brave." And I would just rate that the days that I was just like, I don't want to do the shots, because even though it didn't hurt, it was just kind of like, it's so much. It's a little overwhelming for the body, you know? So that was the experience with the shots. Good morning. So it's 4:20 in the morning, and I am on my way with Jesse to the doctor's office where they're going to do the procedure of the egg retrieval. I didn't get any sleep because all of a sudden there's like a flock of birds that likes to sing at 3, 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning. They're still singing. And I also had nightmares about today because they told me not to drink any liquids, and I had a nightmare where I woke up and I just drank so much water, and I didn't really get any rest because I also had to wake up at 4. So just having this in the back of my mind that I had to wake up early and be here didn't really let me settle down in a deep sleep, and the birds kept waking me up. But I'm excited. The procedure should be easy. I spoke with the nurse yesterday, and she said that the procedure itself should only be like 10 minutes, and I should wake up from the anesthesia as soon as they're done, almost as soon as they're done. After all of that, about 10 days of shots, egg retrieval day finally arrived, and I could not be more excited to finally be done and over with this first round. After I did the trigger shot, which is very specifically timed, it was at 7 p.m. I had to call a number and tell them my name and the time that I did the trigger shot, and then they scheduled the egg retrieval procedure about a day after. The appointment was at 5 in the morning. 5:30, so I had to get there like at 5 in the morning. It's about an hour away, and I get to the office. I change into the gown and the cap and the little booties. They take all my clothes off, and they put an IV on my arm, and the procedure starts. And it is a big needle that goes inside of your vagina, and then the eggs are retrieved that way and into a little tube. And I was completely put under, so I did not feel not one little thing. The doctor, after I finally came out of it, the doctor comes in and he's like, "We got 26 eggs." I was so shocked. I could not believe the amount of eggs that came out of my body and that I actually had in here. Oh my gosh, I was so happy to hear that number. He called me the day after they were fertilized, and he's like, 19 of them survived. Now you have 19 embryos. He just called me this morning and he said that they still survived. So I still have 19 healthy embryos, guys. And we did testing on the embryos as well. So that's something else that we decided to do to make sure that the embryos are healthy. I did have a lot of bloating afterwards, and it's been about 3 days since the procedure, and I'm still like so bloated and a little bit tender in my stomach. So I'm just so happy to like detox my body now that I don't have to do any medication or anything. And I'm gonna start working out again on Monday and just resuming back to my normal life. And as you can tell, I also feel like myself again today. I have high energy, I wanna do stuff, I'm happy, I'm like myself, you know, because for that week, for those 2 weeks, I really just did not feel like myself at all. But it's fine, it's just temporarily. And I'm just so happy to be done with that procedure. And Isaac is so excited, Jesse is so excited. We're all just super excited that this is finally happening. One thing that I have to stress is that when you are going through this journey, when you start IVF, you have to stay positive. That is really one of the biggest keys throughout this entire process, is that you have to stay positive with your thoughts and remind yourself how strong you are. Look at everything that you're putting your body through, and you are still overcoming the emotions and the physical changes that are happening in your body. There were some days where I didn't feel my strongest, and I would cry and I would be like, am I even doing the right thing? Is this even the right thing to do to my body? Is this normal? But yes, you know, you have to stay positive with your thoughts. And whenever you have those thoughts, it's okay to have them, but also make sure that you replace them and remind yourself that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and you are strong enough to overcome this. You are way more stronger than any of the things that you might encounter throughout this journey. So just remind yourself of that, okay? Now, I want to share a really interesting story that just happened to me just real quickly, because I shared my story with you guys, of course, you know, with you guys and only like my close family. I haven't really talked a lot about this to anybody, and I don't know why. I tell you, like, I'm okay telling you, but then there's certain just people that I just don't want to talk to about. Like, if you don't care about me, like, why am I even going to tell you about this? But what I want to say about that is that I also shared this story with the 2 ladies that did my mani and my pedi. And, you know, there's a lot of stigma behind actually saying words like vagina, right? It's almost taboo, like, ooh, you said vagina. Like, don't say that in a video, girl. Don't talk about your period. That's something that should never be talked about. We hear that all the time, right? And I openly talked to them about it. I just felt comfortable enough to actually tell them what I just went through, because I decided to do like a 10-minute massage, like all over my body, basically my legs and up here. And I said, you know what? I deserve it. Yes, you do that 10-minute massage, because I just had the egg retrieval yesterday and my body deserves to be treated nicely. So I ended up telling them what I went through, and they were so intrigued by it. And it was almost like this immediate connection that we shared just by sharing that I have infertility issues and it's okay to talk about it. There should be no stigma behind talking about what women go through. This is a women's issue, and I'm so happy that I am not the first, and I definitely will not be the last who actually share their story on YouTube and on their websites and on social media and with the world on television everywhere. I feel it's so important to talk about it. So many things that we have to just talk more about so they don't become taboo. And I feel really strongly about this because even in my last video, I talked about like how menstruation is something that it's something that I love. I love when I'm on my period. I love when I'm bleeding, and it's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual connection that I have with my cycle. It really is. It was never like that. I used to hate it because I was like, oh, it's such an inconvenience. Why am I bleeding? These cramps hurt. It's like, I have all of these horrible horror stories about me staining school buses and seats in high school, and it's been a journey with my period. But I saw in the comment section that some women feel like they totally hate their period, and they're like, it's the worst thing that ever happened to women. And just throughout history and even in religion, a woman's menstrual cycle, it has been looked down upon. You know, a lot of religions do not want you to touch their holy scriptures if you're bleeding, if you're menstruating. They don't want you to participate in some spiritual rituals if you're bleeding. You are told to go to a special location in the village if you're bleeding, because we don't want your negativity, your negative energy that surrounds your menstrual cycle to be affected upon the village. There's so many things, you know, and I recommend that you guys check out this book called Periods Gone Public. If you're very spiritual like myself, this one I also recommend. It's called Songs of Bleeding, and it's a beautiful, beautiful book. I really recommend those books because it's going to give you a different perspective on how you see your menstrual cycle, and you're going to see that it's actually a very beautiful thing. I honor it, I love it, and I know that at certain times of the month, it's just a whole situation that I just can't go into in today's video. Anyways, have a blessed and beautiful day, everybody. I will see you in my next video. I love you. Thank you for joining me today. Anyways, guys, have a blessed and beautiful day. Please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you guys down in the comments section so we can continue this conversation. Love you and have a blessed and beautiful day. Bye.